Namaste, Divine Soul. This video is about how can we protect ourselves on the spiritual path. Normal people use all kinds of strategies of self-protection while they move through normal daily life. These strategies are mostly based on projections, and they are often passive-aggressive or directly aggressive, offending their surrounding. In war, this whole ego trip escalates when people defend themselves directly with weapons and kill each other. Usually in a it's hard to use this word because the society is not so civilized as it wishes to be. So these attacks are on daily basis more of a verbal nature simply, or an emotional, mental level. There is, of course, also violence, physical violence in families and homes still. And there is a direct correlation between suppression and Christian upbringing and violence in homes, because the suppression of the sexual cosmic energy leads to whether depression or aggression. And no matter how it's covered by social rules, especially the Christian social rule of if they beat you on the right cheek, you have to offer them also the left cheek to maintain social peace. Or, so these social rules of love try to cover the basic problem people are facing and leading them to suffering. Because suffering, also physical suffering, is as a fact based on emotional, mental suffering. So here now the spiritual path comes in, Tantra comes in, because Tantra has the direct approach to deal with this energy, this cosmic sexual energy, which is our life energy, consciously, and transform it into ojas, spiritual energy. That is the way of Tantra and the Tantra yogis, whether from Indian or Buddhist traditions. So that is the first basic, very different approach. And this might also explain why the society at first tries to attack us when we choose a different path. It's not always like that. There are also many people who have the luck to be already born in spiritual oriented families, or who have tolerant families, but very often it is so also for people that the moment we decide to walk on our own path, to follow our own calling, and if it's not that of the society or the family, that we will be attacked. And we have to understand that this attack is supporting our stepping away from certain conditionings, surroundings. It is there to push us out of them because we no longer belong there. So, and the more we resist, the greater the attack. The more we surrender to the path, the greater the protection, actually. So that what most of us experience as something scary is but seen energetically there to push us forward on our path. So here we need courage. We need courage. This is why usually the importance of the master, the guru, the sangha is should not be undervalued, because of course it's protective if we are surrounded by like-minded people. If we don't have to face these, let's say, hardships all alone. And of course there are also many spiritual techniques who are there to support our protection. And I just want to mention here a few of them in the rest of the video. So as you see on the photo, what is light? What is darkness? This light comes from the eternal, from our eternal soul. And when there's light, the darkness cannot be. It is our consciousness, our own consciousness, and the door is our heart. So the greatest protection shield is always to be seen in the divine energy itself, in the divine unconditional love, and in the divine love of the guru, of the master, who is the embodiment of this energy. The guru and the master and the teaching, the sadhana itself, are the ones who build up this protection in our aura, in our auric field, and help us to embody this light ourselves as well, in all kinds of possible ways. So the greatest protection is in the beginning stages. The master, the guru, and the sadhana, one's own spiritual practice. So now certain techniques for beginners, but even very useful also in advanced practices at times for the advanced practitioner at times. First of all, the mantra that is given by the Guru. If the Guru doesn't give us a special mantra, there are general mantras who build up protection fields. In general, all mantras build up protection fields because they connect us to the divine energy and build this energy up in our auric field. If I call on the divine constantly, it's like a prayer of connection. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I honor you, Shiva, is to honor your own divine beingness, the formless, the strongest, the source in all. Right identification is very important, but it comes later. It comes at the later steps. Always identify with the divine. Observe body, thoughts, and emotions. The two demons are called identification and attachment. They can be conquered by unconditional love and meditation. Osho said, neti neti, no angels, no demons. So back to the beginners stages. The Narasimha mantra is a mantra which is taught in Bhakti Yoga to beginners to be protected, especially when they are attacked by their family. And I can say that it's a very strong and potent mantra. It truly has effects. And whenever you have to choose a mantra by yourself, consider with which energy it connects you and if you want that. No? The yogi's basic life rules in this matter is ahimsa, non-violence. For most of the yogis. We can also, with mantras, call in destructive forces. But as a practitioner of quiet tantra, we will not use them. We will work with the light and with the Kundalini Shakti directly. So, first, mantra. Second, just for the later stages, right identification and detachment. So, back to the beginner level. Mantra, mantra, yantra, tantra. Oh, let's stay low color. Color has a huge impact on our auric field. This is scientifically proven. Green heals, blue smoothes, black absorbs, and white reflects, and red gives power. And orange enhances the life force. So, have you ever asked yourself, well, why all the doctors always wear white? Or while in the operation rooms, the doctors wear green? Why is that so? Yeah, so white reflects and builds up a very strong protection field. If we wear white clothes, this is truly building up a strong protection field. And there are also certain minerals and seeds. The yogis' great protection field is also seen in the rudraksha. Rudraksha is a seed of a tree, and it's called Shiva's tears. The rudraksha pearls have certain electromagnetic frequencies which they carry, and when we wear them, these frequencies are activated in our auric field. And this is scientifically proven also. So about minerals, I would just mention now here the amethyst, related to the third eye, which we want to open by our meditation practices. Lapis lazuli, the stone of the Buddha, of the healing Buddha, the Buddha of healing, lapis lazuli, which is like the sky. Turquoise is the protection stone of the Indians, the natives in America, basically. Not to forget clear quartz crystal, which is a huge auric field, clearer and cleaner. It can clear the whole aura. The sadhana I've mentioned already. Certainly all the steps of the sadhana, the beginning steps, they are purifications, and so they are protections. When our gut functions properly, our health is getting better, we become stronger, we are more protected. When with asana we open certain channels, energy channels, we prepare them to get in alignment with the cosmic energy, as a pre-step to pranayama, where we consciously guide the prana. Prana, yama. Yama means extension. No, not extension. What is the English word? Something getting bigger. Something like that. So in pranayama, the prana is guided. The prana clears the whole auric field. In Adishodhan pranayama, the prana cleans the whole nadis, 82,000 nadis in the body. So, and we can feel that when prana was blocked in the body, it's painful, and when prana is set free, it's blissful. And bliss is protection. Likewise, the yamas and niyamas are a great protection because it's just a guidance where to put attention, where to put our attention. Attention goes, energy flows where attention goes. If we set our intention on the divine, on divine love, we activate it. Likewise, if we set our intention on other stuff, we activate other stuff. We have to be clear about what do we want to activate in our life. So it's advised, for example, to read divine literature, to listen to the satsang of saints, to get darshan, instead of watching the TV and listen to the radio. It's just all there to build up protection and help us to get in touch with the divine. So, and once in touch, ignorance is removed in a process. Even enlightenment itself is a process. The whole path is a process. From step to step. There can be setbacks, there can be traps, but stepping back to the master or guru and the sadhana is establishing again protection. So even if we lost the path 100 times, we can get back 100 times, and we also, in fact, will be guided back 100 times. Usually it's not the first time in one's lifetimes when one lands on his or her spiritual path. Usually it's a path we've been on for many lifetimes. And certainly also on different paths. But I do believe that there is also the one tradition who is extra for us, most suitable to guide us to enlightenment. And this will probably be the path on which we land upon in more lifetimes than on other paths. This is at least how I explain that to myself. So again, repetition. The guru, the master, the sadhana itself, colors, minerals, and rudraksha. To the minerals I want to add sheryl. It's black tourmaline. It's said to be the strongest protection against evil eyes, black magic, and so on. So if you feel attacked, this might really help you. Like turquoise also. And The 10 Mukhi rudraksha is as such that its qualities are so that it pacifies all the planets in one's chart and leads into such a strong peace field that is a very strong protection. The 10 forms of Shiva are ruling this process in this rudraksha, it is said. Or let's say I've read once, I'm not sure now if it's forms of Shiva. Anyway, it carries 10 strong electromagnetic impulses that correct and guide the auric field into peace. So certainly now also vegetarian or vegan diet is a very important means of self-protection. Because how can one who constantly partakes in killing innocent animals expect to not be affected by this slaughter? Yogis do believe that it leads to a very bad karma to kill animals. And it's also meanwhile scientifically proven that we are not meat eaters, basically. Our whole teeth are not the teeth of an animal who eats meat, and our stomach is not the stomach of a meat-eating animal, because meat-eating animals have very high levels of gastric acids, which humans don't have, and they have a very short colon where meat can pass through quickly, which humans don't have. They have a very long colon, and if one eats too much meat, and also meat of low quality, toxins are built up. And pig meat is especially toxic for humans. So, if people can't step out of meat eating, in Tantra there are, in some tantric traditions, stuff like meat eating is allowed. These are then maybe more suitable paths. All I say is that why Tantra says meat eating should be avoided. One cannot enter deeper states of consciousness without purification. So it's also to be avoided on this path to intake toxins. And basically, all what carries too much acid is toxic. The basic rule is what you can digest easily and good is also good for the body and for the mind, because the mind absorbs the qualities of the food. And the mind in general is something which can be manipulated, which is often programmed. And in yoga, we learn to master this process. We learn to transform negative aspects in ourselves. We turn inwards, we turn away from the outside, we turn inwards and transform our demons, our negative energy, our health into positivity, simply, with the aim to step one step back, becoming the witness and dissolving the ego, dropping into eternity, melting with the oneness that we are, becoming the flame oneself one day, which is the great protection against all darkness. So that's said easily, easy to be said, difficult to be done. One time, 2 hours a week will not make it. It's a start to restore health and relaxation, yes. But it is not what leads us really further on the path to enlightenment. For that, meditation is needed. Meditation has not to be a complicated process. It's not complicated at all. But it is most difficult for most of us because it cannot be done. Meditation cannot be done. It cannot be manipulated, it cannot be bought, it cannot be sought, it cannot be corrupted, it cannot be faked. To enter the state of meditation, to enter the stream, to enter no mind, to enter the timeless dimension of our being, what is needed is surrender. Surrender of the ego. The ego has to drop, the mind has to drop. Meditation is no mind. And the way to get there is through the heart and the witness. While it's rightfully said, the open heart is a byproduct of meditation. But all the spiritual paths prepare the way. They prepare the way, they cultivate the heart, and they lead one into meditation. And then nothing cannot be done anymore. We cannot do anything anymore at a certain stage. Then just going on, staying connected to the Master and Guru, and keep on doing our sadhana. And waiting but not waiting, waiting without waiting. Because at the end of this journey, the last steps of these paths are not done by us anymore, not done by the Master. They are done by divine grace itself. Absorption is something we are pulled to. It is happening when the time is right and not one moment before. And it happens by surrender. Osho said, relax and it is there. Don't seek, don't search, don't ask, don't demand, don't question. Don't do anything and it is there. Relax and it is there. Don't try to become, be. Be a light unto yourself. When you are a beginner, be a light unto yourself. Trust that in the light of the tradition, of the many enlightened beings of the tradition, you will be safe. And you will be saved as well. You too will be saved one day. The whole world will be saved one day. When the lamps are lit, when the lights are stronger than the darkness, when the lights are many, so what more beautiful could we dedicate our life to than to the light? Hari Om Tat Sat.